What is up, guys? My name is Nicholas Garcella. Welcome back to another video. It is time. The World Series, well, the playoffs, are among us. The Wild Card Series start tomorrow, Friday. And Friday. Well, at the time of this video, it is Friday. At the time of this video that I'm making it is Wednesday, but it will be posted on Thursday. So tomorrow, the MLB Playoffs begin. For the Blue Jays, it begins at 4 o'clock, 4:07 on the dash. And this is going to be an interesting one. I'm doing this live. I am not going to make predictions beforehand. I will make my analysis based on what I think off the top of my head. I've never done it this way before, so bear with me if I do think a little bit on what I want to say. But yes, let's get into it. We're going to start with the West this time. Not this way, the West. I should know that already. All right, Philadelphia Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals series. This is going to be an interesting one. And the St. Louis Cardinals are a very good team. Very good pitching. Albert Pujols obviously hit number 700 not that long ago. And I like what they do with their ball club, but also it bores me at moments. Now with the Philadelphia Phillies, they're a fun team. All right, they're a fun team. Bryce Harper, he's been wanting to make the playoffs. And he did. Finally, he got there with the Phillies. And they're pitching, yes, maybe it's not the greatest, but they do have some pieces that make them intriguing in this series. And I do see them giving the Cardinals some upset here. But I'm going to take the Cardinals overall in 3 games. And then the Phillies will steal 1. If anything, it's going to be the first game for the Philadelphia Phillies. But I have to respect the fact that the Cardinals got here. They are the 3 seed. And they are one of the better teams of the bunch. So, the fact is the Cardinals made the playoffs. Some other teams did it in their division. And yet, they are a very, very good team who knocked out one of the better ones in the Milwaukee Brewers. And I'm talking about the Phillies. So, moving on to the next one. The San Diego Padres will go to New York. Not to face the Yankees, but the New York Mets. And the Mets, they've been a fun ball club all year. Man, their closer has maybe one of the best intros I've seen in league history. And their pitching is really good. Especially when DeGrom is on the mound. Man, they're good. They are a darn good ball club. And then you add their hitting, which has been brought to you by Pete Alonso. And he's been fantastic as well. So the New York Mets, they're a fun-loving team. The San Diego Padres, well, they got the money. And they are paying up to other guys. Starting with Juan Soto. Fernando Tatis. He's not going to be able to play in this series. So that is a downgrade for them, of course. But they still have the pitching. Their bullpen is maybe not the best, but they still have the pitching. And I think they're going to give the Mets trouble. However, for how many games will they give them trouble? I don't think they'll win a game. I think it's going to go 2-0 for the New York Mets. I do see this being a tight series. But the fact is, I don't see the Padres winning a game in this series. So I'll give it to the Mets 2-0. And that's my final answer. We'll move on to the East, where we see the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cleveland Guardians. The Cleveland Guardians, I actually am a little bit back and forth with the Cleveland Guardians. I don't really have a straight answer for them. I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs. That's it. That's my take. I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs. And they found a way. They squeaked in. They made it happen. And now they're here, hosting 3 games to Tampa Bay. That's tough. I don't care if it's Toronto. I don't care if it's Seattle. I don't care if it's New York. I don't care if it's Cleveland. Any series that Tampa Bay is going to play away from home is going to be tough for them. And the Guardians are going to give them heck this series because they have been a very good hitting team all year. Hitting against pitching, who's going to win? I got the pitching in the Tampa Bay Rays. 3 games. I think the Guardians will give them trouble. And by trouble, I mean they win the first game. And the Tampa Bay Rays now got to win 2 in a row on the road with probably the best pitchers on the Guardians' mound. But that depth from the Tampa Bay Rays, they go into that defensive mode. They've been to the World Series in the last 3 years, so they know what to do. They know exactly what to do. Go to the default, use what works, and get into the next round. And that's exactly what the Tampa Bay Rays are going to do. 3 games, the Rays make the upset. Seattle Mariners go to the Rogers Center against the Toronto Blue Jays. It's time to show Seattle what we can do. Now, this is not going to be an easy series at all. Seattle's a very good baseball club. And they bring it. They bring it. They got the hitting. Julio Rodriguez, he's been fantastic. Then you look at their pitching. Starting on the mound, Luis Castillo, first game. Second game, Robbie Ray. And then, game 3, if there is one, you still have Gilbert. Yes, they're good. But the Jays, the hitting has been there this year. The defensive play that we haven't seen before from teams prior, it's been very good, minus Bo Bichette and his lapses in games. But otherwise, Vladdy's been great on first base. Whit Merrifield coming in relief has been great on second and in center field. Santiago Espinal most likely going to be back for this series. We didn't see him play today, but he probably will be back. Third baseman, all-star Matt Chapman. The outfield when Lourdes is in there with the lazy man Teoscar on right field. Sorry, Teoscar. And George Springer, Mr. Houston Astro, with the 890 OBP in all of his playoff series combined. That's something else. I'm going to take the Jays, of course. Everyone probably knew that from my analysis. And I don't see that because I'm biased. I just see as you go to 2 games. Let's say the Jays, let's say I was going to, let's put it this way. Let's say if I said the Jays are going to win in 2 games. Yeah, well, that probably wouldn't happen because Ron Gilbert is still in the team. Robbie Ray's game will probably be lost for Seattle. Seattle fans will probably even say that themselves because they'll probably have Gausman on the mound, and Gausman is a playoff tank. Alek Manoah, I think he's going to show up. And Luis Castillo, last time we heard about Luis Castillo, he got lit up and traded. So, I like this team. I like the Blue Jays' current roster. I think this team can push boundaries. And that boundaries starts with what's right below me, and it's not the Scots logo. It's the 2 spots right above the World Series sticker. That's what I hold for them, and that's why I think they're going to win this series. They have other plans in mind besides losing to Seattle. So, before we go too much into that one, the Atlanta Braves take on the St. Louis Cardinals. And the Braves are a very good baseball club, even without Freddie Freeman. They didn't need him. And that's exactly why I think this series is going to finish 3-1. The Braves take out the Cardinals without any trouble, and especially since the Cardinals are going to be tired. I know there is at least 1 or 2 rest days, especially for the NL. I think the AL, they don't get a rest day, which is unfortunate, but you know what? You can't do everything. But yes, I do think that the Atlanta Braves are going to have no problem winning this series, especially with Acuna in their lineup now after being injured all last year and still winning the World Series. This is a playoff team. They're here to do it, and they're going to prove it. 3-1. The Dodgers will host the New York Mets. Now, the Mets are a good team, as I said earlier. And the Dodgers, well, let's just say they've been here before. And let's just say they know how to beat fun-loving teams like this. Especially my boys, oh my, I can't point today. My boys down there. Talking about these guys, fun-loving teams. They know how to beat those fun-loving teams that play off of a lot of confidence. And the Dodgers break apart groups, they munch them up, and they throw them out. Now, I know that was a silly way to put it, but let's be real. The Dodgers are going to win this series. Now, do I think it's going to go 5 games? Probably not. 4, maybe. 3, I don't buy it. So I'm going to stick it in the middle, and I'm going to say 4 games. The Dodgers win this one, but the Mets win the first game. Just to bite LA Dodgers fans just a little bit and get the rumblings going on Twitter. And the Dodgers are in trouble. And that's all I want to hear on the news feed of Twitter and everywhere else. Instagram, wherever. We'll move on to this side. I can't get my left from rights today because it's in reverse. This side, the Tampa Bay Rays will head of the Bronx against the New York Yankees. And this is my issue with the New York Yankees. Yankees fans, I don't know how you're going to win a World Series when your team is based off of offense of only Aaron Judge. You guys have been complaining all year. Donaldson's trash. That's what you all have been saying. Regardless of what you say now going into the playoffs, it's been Donaldson's trash. The rest of our lineup is okay, and we get some help every now and then from our lineup. Our pitching is phenomenal. Our bullpen is unreal. 2 of those things were correct. Your bullpen is unreal, and your offense has been trash pretty much all year, besides the fact that you have Aaron Judge. So I like you, Yankees. Don't say you're going to go win the World Series after claiming all these issues with your lineup. It just doesn't work. Now, am I going to say that you're going to beat the Tampa Bay Rays? Yes. Yeah, you're going to beat Tampa. But don't think you're going all the way after saying all that stuff. That's all I had to get off my chest. I already praised Tampa Bay. They already know what I think about them. They are a World Series contender every year because they know how to play the playoff baseball. Yes. But you're going to the Bronx. And you don't even know if you're going to play at Tropicana after all the unfortunate natural disasters that have happened in Tampa Bay. So we're really not sure what's going to happen with Tampa. So we'll see. But I do think the Yankees are going to win the series regardless of where Tampa Bay plays at home advantage. Now we move into the last series, and it is the Blue Jays versus the Houston Astros. This is such a tough series. I have so much respect for the Houston Astros. I really do. The fact that they were unnoticed all year. Remember when the Yankees were winning? Remember when the Yankees got to 50 wins? And then they got to 60 wins? And everyone was like, oh my God, this team's going to win the World Series. No one's going to beat them. They're so unbelievably good. But the Astros were right there. They were right there the whole time, sitting nicely, waiting to be listened to. It took to 80 wins for the Astros for them to be recognized. And you know why? Because that's what they do. That's something they're used to. The Astros always do that. That's why I have respect for this team. They can always get there. And they're going to continue. Now, my dear Blue Jays. It is so hard to put you over the Houston Astros. I know that we light up Verlander. I know. And I know we could probably beat all their other pitchers and out-hit them. And yeah, their bullpen, as wonderful it is, ours has been great this year. I'm telling you right now, if I make this decision to put the Blue Jays, and I'll spoil the whole video right now. If I make this decision to say that the Blue Jays are going to beat the Houston Astros, they'll go win the whole World Series. I'm telling you right now, it will happen. They will Toronto Raptor the MLB Playoffs. And what I mean by that, they couldn't get past some of the big giants for ages. The Raptors couldn't get past LeBron all the years he was in Cleveland. And now they have an opportunity to get past the biggest giant in baseball when it comes to the playoffs. That is the Houston Astros. Are they going to pass them? 5-game series. Houston is home. I'm sorry, Jace. The answer is no. I love you guys, and I hope you do it. I hope you beat the Houston Astros. Oh my gosh. That would be so fun. But if you're on the Yankees side, maybe. But I just think Houston's way too experienced. They have too much skill, too much talent, and it's just not the time yet. It's coming. And there's going to be some heartbreak. And I definitely think Alek Manoah has what it takes to be that ace, Kevin Gausman. Then you bring in Ross Stripling. But then, there you go back to the 3 and Alek Manoah, tired, gassed. You're going to run a 3-man rotation against the starters of the Houston Astros. Just doesn't work just yet. They have to figure some things out in the offseason with Hyun-Jin Ryu, my goodness, and rebuild from there. So, Houston is where I stand right now. Moving back to the West. God, that was so hard to say as a Jays fan. The Atlanta Braves and the LA Dodgers. This is my upset, ladies and gentlemen. The Atlanta Braves are going to beat the Dodgers and meet back in the World Series. I've had this ploy since the beginning of last season. I said this is going to happen. The Braves are going to meet the Dodgers once again and beat them. You got Freddie Freeman? Congrats! We're going to kick his ass. That's what we're going to do. I love the Braves team this year. They're so simple, yet complex with the way they're structured. They're structured to win World Series, even without the use of Freddie Freeman. And their pitching, it's just naturally good. The Dodgers, they got the money. They bring in the big stars. Mookie has been one of the best players in the major leagues this season. I just don't think he can save them this year. I'm going to back up Atlanta. Atlanta back to the World Series. Sorry, Dodgers. Yankees and the Houston Astros. Now, you already heard what I said about the Blue Jays playing the fact that they can make the World Series if they beat Houston. So you think I'm going to say the Yankees? No chance in hell. I'm going with the Houston Astros. Now, this is probably going to bite me in the butt. And I like the Yankees. I really do. And actually, at the 66 game mark, when that was the halfway point of the season, around there, I said that the New York Yankees were going to come back and win the World Series, beat Houston, because that was the team that could beat Houston. But now, after the second half of the season, seeing the Yankees group that's been strained, that's been focusing on the record of Aaron Judge and him only, I just don't see them coming to win this game. To win this Game 7, because that's where I think this is going. ALCS to Game 7 between the Yankees and Houston in Texas. And I think the Astros are just going to win that game. They've been there before. It's going to happen. Houston against the Atlanta Braves. Houston hosting the 7-game series. Now, the Braves have been here before. As a matter of fact, so are the Houston Astros. It's a matchup that we didn't think we were going to see again, but it is the rematch. And this time, I think it comes back to Houston. Houston Astros will be your World Series winners this season. In 6 games, they take them out in Atlanta. I actually don't think it's structured that way. I think it's 5. Yeah, the game sevens are weird, but it will be game 6 and 7 in Houston. And I think they win at home. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have to say for today. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more of these videos, and please make sure to turn on your post notifications to get notified when these videos do come out. One more thing, please make sure to share this video with your friends and family. Helps me out a lot. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I will be posting a short recap of this and giving my analysis, my short analysis on the Blue Jays stuff. Plus, I make Maple Leafs content and all sort of stuff for Toronto sports media. So make sure to give me a follow on TikTok and Instagram. It would really help me out, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Next video mostly posted will be the World Cup predictions, and boy, that is going to be a spicy one. Take it easy, guys.